Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you guys are having a beautiful start of the week. Well, technically the week started on Sunday, but inshallah, hope you guys are having a good day. To be honest, mine started off kind of rocky. So I have an Instagram now, and I'm going to link my Instagram from now on with my page, so you guys can check up on me in a more personalized kind of way. Start putting some content on there and things like that, so you can follow me and see how I'm living, for the best of my ability. This is something new because I didn't have an Instagram for 2 years. One of these days, I'll tell a story why I kind of took a leap from social media. It's a very personal one. But anyway, thank you so much for, your support. I know that I got a couple of followers, even though I haven't been really posting as much or streaming as much. And that really makes my day. Thank you so much. It looks like the word's getting out there. So today I'm going to talk about basically to start the day. There's a sister, Niqabi sister. I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. I think it's Ninja Mommy. I posted, she's like, oh, I'm doing gender reveal and things like that on the community tab. And I was like, hey, inshallah, basically, I hope that, you're, it's a blessing, whatever kind of child you have. And I can tell her page because she's a sweet woman and she's sweet. She has a good heart. She has good imam. And a lot of people, these liberal Muslims or liberals in general, are infiltrating her page because they're curious about her. They're curious about, oh, why would a woman, dress like that? And, but she's so sweet and nice and she's not hateful and all this other stereotypes that they would have of a niqabi, right? So, I was like, hey, niqabis, a lot of these niqabis I see are so feminine, right? I love it. I love it. When these days, these day and age, when you get a woman that's actually feminine and her characteristics, how she presents herself, how she talks, her mannerisms, and those things like that, that's so refreshing because even for most of my life, I was raised around a lot of masculine women, and whether in my community, my family, things like that, I rarely saw a lot of feminine acting women unless they were from other races. I'm going to be completely honest, like Hispanic woman, white woman. Or if they were African, it was like African woman, I'm saying like that. But like African American, irregardless of religious standpoint, I really wasn't really around a lot of feminine acting women. Like a lot of them pulled off very masculine characteristics that I personally think, right? And so I was like, oh, well, it's literally her title, her name is Proud Feminist. Like that's original, right? And she went on the page and said, oh, well, her character, what she doesn't, not because she doesn't wear pants, and it just means that doesn't mean she's masculine, and of course, assuming that I mean because of their clothing, right? Obviously, and I could tell it's probably somebody young or probably naive. They're probably studying gender studies or underground basket weaving in college or something like that, or they're probably still in high school. But that, really ignorant, comment. I was saying something positive about the sister and giving her support, like, wow, I love niqabis just for how feminine they are. And of course, a lot of feminists, man, they love breaking down how fragile the male ego is, but they're the ones that constantly invade spaces promoting their ideology. Like me, myself, especially, I've never seen Muslims go invade atheist pages. I've never really seen, especially masculine men, never invade, feminist Muslim pages because we already know what the game is. Like if they obviously didn't get the memo right now, and they're over there preaching to the choir, they're not going to interact with us with any kind of respect or dignity. All they're going to do is just call us names and how evil we are and things like that. I mean, that's like the feminist playbook. The feminist playbook is demasculinize or guilt trip men for being themselves. Like they always, because a lot of feminists they have a very victimized mentality. And, men have done terrible things to women and women have done terrible things to men and vice versa. This gender war has to freaking end. It's ridiculous. Just like this, I underknowledge white supremacy ending, but I don't, and I call white supremacy out for when I see it. I believe actually feminism and liberalism are the biggest proponents of white supremacy, believe it or not. And I called it out, actually in a reply to her. Let me see if I actually, can go screen share and go and look at it, find the actual post, but it's pretty interesting. I'm kind of in a rush. I'm actually very, very busy, but let me go see if I can find it. Let me go on YouTube. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that I even acknowledge those things. I was like, yeah, I understand what sisters' problems is. But people love the modern era. Like women love it, especially. They love the modern era. They can do what they want. They can dress how they want. They can work all these jobs. And, does it help their mental health? No, for the most part. They still so struggle for the same things. Domestic violence or rape hasn't really gone anywhere. And all these things, they act like, they got even positions of power. They're still not happy about that. I'm really starting to basically come to a conclusion where I'm not really going to take women's word for really anything, because they have, especially Western women, Western American women at that, are the most privileged women to ever exist in history. And they still have all the opportunities in the world. There really isn't anything stopping a woman from being what she wants to be. Literally, society accommodates them. I mean, I'm in the service. They literally go out of the way to accommodate women. So, and granted, there's problems. You know what I mean? Just like anything else, there's always going to be problems. Because you know what? Human beings, we're not perfect. Human beings in society is not perfect. Anybody that thinks that will ever be able to happen is a delusional idiot. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. I think I got it right now. Let me go to home. Go to this. Hope I can still find, because this is just so ridiculous. Here we go. So let me screen share. Chrome tab. YouTube. So let me go to this sister real quick. Pretty sure you can see what I see. I'm trying to click on it. I don't know what's going on. Okay, this guy's got a girl got 2 subscribers. I'm not trying to YouTube freaking stalk this girl, but I'm trying to find the comment that she actually did that really was just so ignorant. So I don't know why my page is doing this thing to where you can't see all the way through, but this is really the dialogue that we exchange. And I gave her a couple of good replies, and I was trying to be as respectful as possible, man, because that's how you have to deal with these people. A lot of them are super, super freaking ignorant because they always want to attack you, I guess I'm just going to stop with the screen share. But anyway, they really, really get off on, man, sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know why it's making the screen so small. But the thing that gets me with these people is they act like they're so tolerant and so respectful, but they literally go out of their freaking way to insult you on the deepest level as soon as they can. Oh, your male ego. Oh, this and that. Yeah, I got, everybody's got ego. Nobody says anything when a woman just cries for no reason. You know that? Guys really don't go, look at that crybaby. Look at that woman crying. It's her period. Look at that woman crying. She's got emotions and stuff like that. Most guys don't do that. Even the most MGTOW, red pill, woman-hating dude, misogynist, whatever, doesn't go out of his way to insult women on how they deal with their emotions and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of feminists go out of, both male and female feminists, go out of their way to insult people on the deepest level for disagreeing with them. Even on some of the deepest stuff, it just astounds me that you can't even on the micro level disagree with these people without them getting deeply just trying to dig you out for the human being that you are. I agree that there's issues with how women are treated. And I believe Islam and the Sharia already provides that. Do I agree with everything in the Sharia? To be honest, I've been raised in America. It's a completely different system based upon the system we have here. And I can be honest, I don't believe with the American justice system either. I don't agree with everything the American justice system it is, however, but I understand why there's rules and regulations and why, hey, maybe I'm not seeing the big picture. Maybe I am ignorant to how actual law needs to be applied. I acknowledge that. And as a Muslim, yeah, I acknowledge that the Sharia, in my opinion, is the highest form of law that there is. In an ideal world, everything would be guided by the Sharia. Point blank, period. And also in the ideal world, everybody would be Muslim. There would be no cultural conflicts. Hey, there would be people of many races and stuff like that, but there would be no cultural conflicts because we will be united under, the being in the same ummah. Just like feminists think that, oh, if a world was a if a world was a, utopia, everybody would be able to do whatever they wanted to do, whenever they wanted to do, which is actually complete chaos. Like, I really want to know, I can never get a straight answer from any feminist about what an ideal world would look like to them. Because if they literally had everything they want, they still wouldn't be happy. Because feminism to me is an individualistic, is a liberal mindset, and liberalism is really based upon the validation of the individual, right? So you can ask one feminist what equality looks like, and another feminist is going to say something completely different, right? So, a female president and everybody in the cabinet's female, and then everybody, literally, they could have everybody in the whole government in positions of power run by women. And I've even talked to feminists about this. They still wouldn't think that's equality. Like, what equality do you want? Like, legally, what legal equality do you want? It's illegal to discriminate on the basis of sex in the United States. Point blank, period. With the gender wage gap, I've even put out scenarios to where, hey, let's just have complete transparency over where everybody makes. Everybody in a company can easily log into a database and find out how many people are making this amount of money, what gender they are, what race they are, what sexuality they are. And then if it comes up that these people are getting, sideballed or whatever like that, then they can file a lawsuit. And guess what? Some people don't want that because they're going to realize that, hey, the people that are making more money than you, a lot of them are actually better at your job than you are, regardless of gender. They're more of an asset to their company. Like, the same people, like the same feminists that complain about capitalism, stuff like that, still want to roll up the corporate ladder and have the corporate ladder accommodate their whims and desires. And this is not a shot at women. Actually, there's a lot of women that aren't feminists. And you know what? They're completely sidelined and completely mistreated by, I think, everyone, both men and women. Because the thing is, women are different than men. Women are social creatures. They really thrive on social interaction. They really, really need it. They really thrive off having a bunch of friends and all that stuff. Like, I've known very few girls that are complete loners. You know what I mean? But you will meet a crap ton of guys that are complete loners. Like, hey, they might not have a lot of friends. They keep to themselves, this, that, third. Because we don't need all the validation of other people to make us feel complete. If a man's really on his grind, he's doing things like that, and he really is on his peak of happiness, he doesn't need other people to pat him on the back and let him feel like he's actually important. Yeah. Now, is it important to have friends and socialize? Oh, yeah. I have a few friends, but I tell you what, I'm way more happier now with less friends, and I'm maybe like a couple of friends like that can maybe count on one hand than dozens of so-called friends out there that probably wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire. And that's another thing, about this so-called society. With social media, we really are putting ourselves through a point where we're really basing our value about how many people follow us and how many people like us, or how you're trending. Who's going viral. That doesn't matter at the end of the day. Because guess what? One day you're actually going to die. Like that being trendy and being a celebrity and all that stuff, it only is going to matter as long as you keep yourself in the limelight. As long as you have some kind of scandal or you keep yourself in the public eye, which is also draining to a lot of people. Unless you're doing that, eventually you're going to fade to obscurity. That's just natural. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, hey, I got a family. I'm going to focus on being a dad or being a mother. Our society these days thinks that you have to constantly grind in order to be validated. Like, for me, myself personally, I like living comfortably. I'm living comfortably right now. But at the same time, my greatest achievement in this life is being a good father. It will be to be a good father and be a good dad, and being a good family member and being a good friend. So that when I pass away, I leave a true legacy, not just financially, not just with my name on stuff, but I leave a true legacy of my memory. People remember me for being the best person that I was, irregardless of my failures and my faults, that they remember the best things about me. Right? So let me go into the topic. So what kind of Muslim are you? So basically the reason I say that is because I meet way too many, and this is kind of just like, kind of really got me. When I reverted, I actually am completely surprised by how many of the Ummah are completely subservient to things other than the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your main concern as a Muslim should be submitting to your creator. Not your, not anything else but your career. That's the first thing more than anything else. Not your country, not any other ideologies that you have. And it sounds crazy to some people, but it is what it is. Just like feminists, they subscribe to their identity as if they have a vagina or not, or if they identify with being a woman or whatever like that, or being identified with a feminist more than anything. Regardless of what country you are, they're a feminist. If they're France, they're feminist. In America, they're feminist. Regardless of what race they are, they're a feminist. Regardless of what sexuality are, they are a feminist. It's a package deal, right? It's just they put feminism and their ideology, just like communists do. They put their ideology ahead of any other indicator of loyalty. And my loyalty is to Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, point blank, period. And that's why I base most of my moral compass on and everything else in my life. Now, do I differ with other Muslims? Oh, yeah, that's completely different. There's a lot. I'm more on the spiritual aspect. I'm not more on the legal aspect. I don't sit and freaking read hadiths all day deciding on what's haram and what's halal. To me, that's not something I'm interested in. Is that very important? Oh, yeah. But at the same time, my importance is developing a spiritual connection, because you know what? A lot of people understand all that stuff, and those people don't practice worth a damn. I think the people that practice the most are people that can actually look between the lines and acknowledge the spiritual worth of submitting to Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I really wonder why so many people put above their ideology, their political ideology, and their identity above being a Muslim. Like, we're supposed to be all united as an ummah based upon our belief in the prophets, and our Creator. But these days, it really is astonishing how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam freaking predicted this: the 72 sects. And one of the 72 sects are that I'm really going to go in are, quote, progressive Muslims, liberal Muslims, and feminist Muslims, because they're the only person that really go out of their way to present themselves as is. Like, maybe somebody's a conservative, so-called Muslim or something like that, but you really don't see those people out in the limelight, because especially conservatives, they really went out of their way to be really Islamophobic. The liberals, they're Islamophobic in the way, like, you live your way according to the deen. They have a problem with that, because if you live your way according to the deen and you accept the Sharia and other things that are, actually halal versus things that are haram, you're going to run into a lot of problems inherently with liberals and progressives. And I'm be honest, I'm not a pure person. I have my shortcomings, man. I think my biggest shortcoming, honestly, is finding a spouse, man. I'm not supposed to be dating. I'm not supposed to be doing this and doing that. But I have legit gone through halal routes to try to find a spouse, and I can't find anyone. And it's not that I'm ugly or I don't have anything going on. It's literally the mindset of the community, the ummah. A lot of people, especially in the West, value education more than anything, because they came from the country they came from. Their parents were like denied education and all the opportunities. They look upon the American dream. Oh, get the best education. Do this, do that. So that's more important than having a family. That's more important than settling down, right? And also people still adapt to the culture of the place they're at. So the dating culture is really big here in the US. That's what runs everything. So nobody's even in the mood. You're a weirdo if you want to get married. Like, you could be 50 years old. If you talk about getting married, you're a freaking weirdo. Like, that's how it is. Like, being married, ironically, especially the LGBT community fought so hard for marriage equality and stuff like that, but even amongst them, being married is still, it's still a weird thing. Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, irregardless of what sexual identity you have, being married is viewed upon as something archaic, which is stupid. Like, the whole thing is like, hey, live. If you're going to say live and let live, okay, why do you put down how I want to live my life? You go around and you date multiple people, you hook up with this person, hook up with that person, you know what I'm saying? You have a child, that with somebody you're not married to, and all kinds of things. Hey, if that's what you want to live your life and that's what you want to do, then hey, that's fine. I don't agree with any of that, and I have my way of what I want to live my life. If I ideally could have been a virgin and all this kinds of stuff and never have been with a woman and met my spouse, and then she was my first, and then we just developed a relationship from there, alhamdulillah, I would have been just as happy if I was a Muslim at that time. But guess what? I wasn't a Muslim at the time. I reverted years after all this kinds of craziness and all these lifestyle changes that I had at the time. So I'm going from that. And granted, dating isn't as easy as people make it out to be, especially for men. But at the same time, now I'm told, oh, hey, everything I did and everything I lived, I thought was acceptable was wrong. Granted, when I was a Christian, it was the same thing, but Christians basically don't really actually adhere to anything that the Bible says whatsoever. They're just, honestly, if you're an American so-called Christian, I think that most of the part you're cultural Christian. Everybody pretty much has surrendered to the dominant culture when it comes to that. That being said, I, have gone to Muslim matrimonial things. I've, met, women that were obviously Muslim, like whether they were hijabs and stuff like that, and been very, very polite and said, hey, I'd like to get to know you better. If you have a wali, what I'm saying? Like, I'd like to get to know your family and things like that. I've done it completely with a whole family together. This is not like some creepy dude going around. I'll see a whole family together and I'll see like some sister eyeing me. And, from time to time, if I think she's giving me choosing signals, I'll go up to her and be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Hey, my name is Zaki, blah, 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 blah. And they'll be with other family members and they'll be male family members. And sometimes they're even, for the most part, actually, all of the time, they're pretty much cool. Oh, hey, how's it going, brother? Blah, blah, blah. I'll introduce myself to them. And then, the mother's there, the mother, and then the father, right? You know what I mean? But even with that, I mean, it's been relatively unsuccessful. I've heard everything from the person's getting married, and for the most part, I'll take the person's word, inshallah. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this person's already spoken for, that's cool. Sometimes it's just literally like, hey, especially if the girl's by herself, a lot of that, not by herself, but if she's with her friends, this is a common answer. Oh, I'm not ready to get married right now, or I'm not interested in getting married right now. And what's kind of crazy about that answer is this. Like, I'm just not being butthurt about not being chosen for. I'm just going to say this, right? If on the flip side, I was the same way, right? If I had a beautiful woman that had their things together come up to me and be like, hey, I'm interested in becoming your wife, right? And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm focused on my career right now, this, that, and the third. And then let's say I get to my career, right? Like, that grind is not going to end because people think, oh, once you get the career, then that's when you start looking for somebody. Guess what? You're going to be busy. You're going to be, working all the time. You're going to be busting your tail all the time, hustling and doing this and the third. Especially women, they really don't see that. You know what I mean? They finally get up the corporate ladder or whatever job or career that they want. And guess what? You're not going to have much free time, right? And then also the little free time that you do have, a lot of them get into bad habits such as, drinking and doing drugs, or speed dating, all that stuff. When then you burn yourself out on that because guess what? All those other people are doing the same thing. Like, how is somebody that works, 50 hours a week and you work 50 hours a week, how's that going to work? Let's be honest, man. This is American society, this Western society really is working us to death. We used to work ourselves to death in the fields and, plantations and stuff like that. But now we have the corporate plantation. We're making money, but what is all the money in the world worth if you're not happy? What's making six figures if you're freaking miserable? Because guess what? You go home empty. You go to some freaking cats or some dogs, or some pets that you have. All your friends are pretty much people that are connected through work, and things like that. You don't really have a life outside of work. Literally, all these companies and stuff like that are literally basing on like entire people's social lives around them because they understand that they're working these people freaking like 6 days out of the week. You don't have time to really meet somebody that likes you for you. So you're dating coworkers and things like that, which is, to me, freaking awkward, to say the least, especially guys. Like, hey, man, you stay away from that because honestly, all too often, it doesn't work out for us well in the long run. It really is only benefits women. You get into like the hookup culture. And, you can have some good times and, being intimate with a lot of people. But what's all that going to matter after you aren't able to actually pair bond with somebody? And I believe that, especially women are the worst at it. I'm going to be completely honest. I think they're really the worst at it to where, especially if they didn't have a strong male figure in their life, if they have multiple partners over a long period of time, it's very hard for them to pair bond. And some of them even go to the point to where they're afraid of pair bonding with somebody because they did pair bond with somebody just because of the sex was good and the infatuation was cool and all that kinds of stuff. But in the long run, obviously the guy was playing them because they like to think that they're smart, but they don't, because most of the time when somebody is lusting after somebody or having physical relation with somebody, your brain is releasing chemicals, dopamine, and all that good stuff to where it confuses you into what you want and who you are. Go Professor, my brother, man. I'm gonna invite you on, man. This is a good topic, man. I got some free time away from work, man. I'm busting my tail right now because I'm teleworking and they just put a lot of stuff on me, brother. So I want to know what you think about this topic in particular. The topic is what Muslim are you? But this is more or less about how people make it hard for themselves. Actually, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Nobody's perfect. But some of the things I think is perplexing, especially on the female side, is a lot of people misconstrue happiness with achieving all these life goals of having a good career, and all these different things. But to me, all those don't matter if you're not spiritually connected and or you have a tight relationship with your community. You know what I'm saying? Whether, especially the Black community, we was all tight at one point. You know what I mean? You could go to any part of the country and go to a Black community and find somebody that you could be considered family. That's the way I look at it. Why I read about the post-civil rights movement, Black community. In regards to what religion they are, this, that, and the third, the Black man can walk anywhere, see another Black man or Black person and link up. But now, guess what? We don't even have that anymore. Why? Because everybody's chasing the dollar, right? All these athletes and all these rappers, a lot of these people don't even have friends. Why? Because they're chasing the career, they're chasing the bag. But what is the bag if you don't have anything to show for it? You know what I'm saying? You don't have a good family to come home to that makes you feel like you're providing for somebody. You don't have friends that if you hit hard times, you hit rock bottom that you can lean on. Well, what's the bag after that? You know what I'm saying? And to me, at this point in my, in with the career that I'm in, that I'm probably going to leave pretty soon within a couple of years. The thing that's important to me right now is I want to settle down, man. I'm going overseas. It's out of the third. I look forward to that, but I really want to start a family, man. And I'm not talking about just shooting out kids as soon as possible, man. I want to develop something with a good woman, get a good spouse. She doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we can work. The thing that matters the most is working through our problems and our issues. That's what I want. I want a woman that understands that conflict is inevitable. Just like in a family, just like with friendships, man. If you have friends that you never beef with or that you never had problems with, man, there's something wrong with that friend. Because it's up to us, especially as Black men, to check each other. And especially, and you look at, especially, unfortunately, the sisters have this problem really bad too. They don't check each other at all. They egg each other on with their dysfunction. And as a brother, as another Black man, I see another Black man slipping. I'm like, hey man, you need to chill on this, chill on that. I'm telling you that because I love you. And I would want somebody to do that to me, man, because I tell you what, I went through a period of my life where nobody checked me. And I got knee deep into a bunch of stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing. And I slipped. And I'm making up for it. The last couple of years of my life, I probably got more things together in my life than I've ever had ever. But I tell you what, especially Black men in your late teens, early 20s, a lot of us, man, we don't have a lot of good direction, man. And if we do have mentors and stuff like that, we don't even want to listen to them, man, because guess what? We're so used to everybody egging us on into our dysfunction. So yeah, man, that's the topic in a nutshell, man. I don't think I really want to beat a dead horse. I was gonna make this short and sweet. But yeah, man, God is all in all. Thanks out to Go Professor, man. Much peace to that brother. I love his morning show. Check him out. Go Professor, do a shout out for your show if you want to. But that brother's morning show, man, if you can get it, early enough, it's a great way to start off your day, just like a cup of coffee. I tell you what, man, because his topics are always good, and that brother's energy, man, is on point. Hopefully, inshallah, when I reach that man's age, I'm not putting that brother's age out there, but if I reach that brother's age, man, hopefully I have the same mentality, brother. So that's all I have. I put the link out there. I guess the Streets a little dry. Of course, it's a Monday. Everybody's probably out grinding. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Water, what's up, my brother? Yeah, shalom to you, man. Yeah. Water, I was just, sorry that you came at the tail end of this, man. I know the notification game on this in these YouTube streets is a little weird, man. But I was talking about how basically, even as a Hebrew Israelite, you could probably agree. A lot of people chase the bag over having a spiritual connection to their creator and to their community. Because we're all extensions of each other's, right? We're all the same body. We're all supposed to be a community, right? And unfortunately, we accept the ideologies of, the adversary of being individuals, and that we don't see it really ourselves as being a part of a greater body than ourselves. And as a community, especially as melanated people, we once had that. And so I'll give you a minute. Okay. Trying to pull it together. Okay, man. I might stay along a little bit more, brother. You know what I'm saying? I got my boy Wagner in here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. But, you can chase the bag all you want to and chase these careers you think they're going to fulfill you. I tell you what, man, one of the main reasons that Americans especially are miserable is because it's never enough. It's never, you can make six figures. Guess what? That's not enough. You can make millions of dollars. Guess what? That's not enough. You can make billions of dollars. That's not enough. If you are not connected to anything other than the bag or what people that don't care about you think about you, then what are you doing with your life? What's your life? You know what I'm saying? I remember, I was a huge I'm actually still a Wu-Tang fan, but I don't really listen to him as much as I used to. But one of my favorite songs was on Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links, Heaven or Hell. What do you believe in, heaven or hell? Can't believe in heaven because you're living in hell. So what's your life? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Wagner, I agree, man. Yeah, real talk, man. Yeah, you're putting the bag over there. And that's why you have these rappers and these athletes wearing dresses and doing booty videos and being on stripper poles and stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Lil Nas X. Talk about you. That's twerking on the devil to keep themselves relevant and to get the bag. Yeah, Water, yeah, you'll definitely be miserable in the end. Facts, my brother. And people compromise their morality and their values, man. Especially the women. The women are really the first ones that really went on deep with that. As soon as they got the so-called independence, they ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Like the over hypersexualized. They complain about sexualization, yet they sexualize themselves at every point. But I go out here, man. I be going to college town, man. These girls ain't wearing nothing, bro. Even though it's hot out, you will never see me with shorts above the knee if I do wear shorts. You will never see me. And if I do, I'll wear I usually wear like those when I run, but I'll wear like leggings under it. You know what I'm saying? To where like I'm covering up, the skin part at the very least, right? Because I do think that running in shorts above the knee is it's a lot more comfortable. That's my personal opinion, right? But yeah, if I'm not working out or doing something like that, you're not going to see me bare my arms out there. You know what I'm saying? Like with my pecs out and all that kinds of stuff. Like that's not going down. I wear for the most part, t-shirts or a long sleeve shirt of some sort and pants. Why? Because I do believe in modesty, and you can look good, especially men. Man, we can look good in anything. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I think we look better when we're fully dressed, man. It makes us look immaculate. Unfortunately, a lot of brothers these days really don't value that. You know what I'm saying? But I always looked upon black men back in the day, man. They were always looking fly. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I dress. But like my female equivalent, what's she dressed like? She got to have literally like clothes that are so skin tight that you even wonder how she put it on. And the material is so thin you can see everything. You can practically see the camel toe. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. And what she got? There was a girl the other day, man. She literally had like a top on that basically went like right under the titty, and like right over like the cleavage. You know what I'm saying? Like right over it. And then but besides that, like she could have easily just been topless. But that's how you want to dress. And then she's, oh, it's hot out. Yeah, it's hot out, but look at how I'm dressing. I mean, I'm just as comfortable as you are, right? I got my brother Wolf on. Let me add this brother. Anybody else that wants to jump on, I'm dropping the link too, man. Come right up, man. Y'all good, man. I want to get some brothers to get a little bit of shine today. Hey, how's it going, brother?
I'm all right. How you living? I see the gold professors in the chat. What's up, brother?
Yeah, man. Hopefully he's able to come back, man. I'm teleworking, man. I got a little free time. It's like the tail end of the day, man. So I decided to do a stream, man. I just got sandwiched with a bunch of stuff. So before I get caught up for the rest of the week, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop. I want to try to give some shine. So what do you think? I don't know if you've been tracking what I've been talking about. What do you think so far?
No, I just got on just now, and I looked at the title. I was wondering, what is this about?
Okay, so earlier, so there's a female Muslim YouTuber. She wears the niqab, where the woman that completely cover themselves up except for the eyes.
Burgo or niqab. I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
Her name is Ninja Mommy, and she is pregnant with her second child, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to do a gender reveal, right?" And I was like, "Hey, I don't care what gender it is, whatever you want, sister. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of your pregnancy." And I was just admiring her femininity. I was like, you are one of the most feminine women I've ever seen, and it's a big deal to me because honestly, when I grew up, man, girls where I come from, bro, a lot of them are, unless they're like of other races, they're really not masculine, bro. I mean, they're really masculine. Like a lot of African American women where I grew up from are very masculine.
Oh, okay. That I get the point. I get it.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Middle East. I grew up in Africa and everything, so I've actually seen women who were feminine. But then again, the woman's femininity comes from within. It's something they internalize and whatnot. It's something that's self-actualized in a sense.
Oh yeah, I don't believe it has anything to do with clothing whatsoever.
Yeah, hold on. Bear with me, Zeke. Zachy, bear with me. Still got the cankers.
Oh no, I'm sorry, my brother. But anyway, this
don't be sad. But don't be sorry. Yeah. But anyway,
I'll go. You want to go?
Oh yeah, please, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as the niqab goes, covering your face, that's an optional thing last time I checked, but it varies from place to place, not to mention the clothing that men wear. Yeah, but the hijab, that's a choice that the woman has to make herself as well. But what I can say is like clothing varies from place to place. If you think about it, anywhere you go where it's a Muslim majority country, the style of dress is not just in accordance with the. It doesn't have to be compliant with the tradition of the area, but also in accordance with the environment they live in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like I'm not a person that, like, for instance, I don't go out of my way to dictate what a woman wears, man, because in this day and age, even if you feel some type of way about it, all you're going to do is get pushed back. It's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? But if I have a daughter, for instance, if I have a daughter or if I have a wife, there are going to be standards. For instance, I'm not out here with a freaking man thong or a fucking Speedo walking around. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that because even if I felt like I wanted to do that, I would think that's just unnecessary. Because if I'm in the army,
there's a time and a place for certain things, but it depends on the situation and the circumstances you're in. I mean, for example, I know some people, they like to wear. There's this type of clothing called the sarong. I'm sure you're familiar with. That they wear like in Southeast Asia and parts of Africa.
Actually, you know what? I'm not so familiar. Hold on, I got my boy, my man, Gold Professor. Let me add him on real quick or whatever like that. Yeah, but you can continue.
Hang on a second. Hey, what's good,
Professor? How you doing, my brother?
Hey, what's happening? Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Well, alaikum salam. Thank you for blessing me with your presence, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to your morning show, man. That's good. I love starting my day off with that, man. I had that in the background as soon as I show up to the office, my brother.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's go, Professor. Right? You listen to how he's so laid back, relaxed, and just chill. It's been a while since I checked peep your stuff, man. But you might remember me from Officer Charles's hangouts and whatnot. That one time when,
Yes, sir.
The last call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. How things go? How things in your end, brother?
Everything's peace. Work as usual.
Motorcycle on the up and up still.
I gotta take her to the doctor.
I gotta do that same with my car, man. I'm going to Korea pretty soon, man. And I drive a Hyundai, but I know Korea, like I'm going in the winter.
Hyundai.
That Korea winter is gonna tear my car up, bro. I gotta get that thing checked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you always got to get a tune-up. You got to make sure everything's on the up and up every once in a while. Scheduled tune-ups, checkups. That's part of the responsibility, man.
Yeah, Bella, she's under the weather, man. You know, she's experiencing growing pains. You know, that's what that is. Yeah. So,
Oh, she a new.
yes,
Oh,
sir.
she a new model. She like a more recent model or something like.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. So
She's
she.
5 months old.
Yeah.
She's 5 months old.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's a puberty. It's a puberty thing. She's just
Yes,
coming of
sir.
age and everything. Yeah. Like
Yes,
the
sir.
hormones and shit. She just need.
Yeah. Had to get her right. Yeah.
Yo. There's a comic I know. He's also a gearhead. He's also a motorcycle enthusiast by the name of Alonzo Bowden. I wonder if you're familiar with that cat.
No, sir.
I know her.
He's a comic. He's a comedian. He used to have a podcast, but now he's on a radio called Who's Paying Attention.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's good. You know, he's more like topical stuff, but he's pretty comedic. He's been in the business. He's been in the game for like 30 years. That dude's life story is quite interesting and whatnot. But you know, he's a motorcycle enthusiast and whatnot.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. But go ahead.
Hey, Wolf, man. Hey, let me since I got my boy Gold Professor, I'm gonna hurry up and just finish what I was going on so I could get you guys his.
Go ahead. Right?
Yeah, so I was trying to screen share it earlier, but my computer's doing this weird thing where the fonts are real small for whatever reason, so I got to go check my settings. But anyway, this troll came in and she had to be like, "Oh, well, just because she's not wearing pants doesn't make her feminine, and you men are always trying to dictate our bodies and this that stuff." And I was like, since I was like trying to be as respectful as possible, I was like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking about my background, how I grew up, how her mannerisms, how she carries herself, how she interacts with her husband. That's why I see as being feminine whatsoever. And I was just like, hey, you guys look upon the modern era being so, you can liberate it, you can do all the things you want to, but at what price? You know what I'm saying? I really think about that, especially in the American point of view. Like, we have so much individualistic freedom. Where has that gotten us? Education-wise, we're garbage. Work ethic-wise, a lot of Americans we've gotten lazier, unfortunately. Most employers say this. You know what I'm saying? Like, Americans are some of the laziest people, but we want them at the highest pay. You know what I mean? Culturally, look at the culture we live in right now. Look who the biggest, stars and celebrities. All they do is promote, for the most part, dysfunction. So in the movies and all that kind of stuff. So the thing is, I really think it's like kind of devastating to a lot of people in the long run is what's the reason that people do that? Well, the reason that people do that is because it makes money. And now money's all good. I like living comfortably just as much as the next cat. I like looking good. I actually spent just like $500 on a new wardrobe and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? I got good hygiene, get a good fresh haircut, all that good stuff, right? But at the same time, that's not the main motivation for me to live my life. My biggest achievement in this life is to be a good father, be a good brother, be a good son. That's my crowning achievement. If I could achieve that, I think my life would be worth living. You know what I'm saying? Me making a bunch of cake and all that stuff, that's probably going to end up, getting wasted within the next generation due to ill spending and ill investments. That's not the biggest, motivator behind me to live, right? Because if you do that, and let's say you fail at it, that's why a lot of people have mental health problems. It's because they chase the bag, they don't get the bag. Now what? So I kind of wanted to get you guys' opinions on that,
Professor goes first.
Well, I would say, if you're on your purpose, then everything else is cornbread, aside, your purpose is the main dish, right? You're on your purpose, then everything else will fall in line. Money comes and goes, but your purpose, when you understand what it is and you're on it, well, that's a permanent thing. Okay. Your direction, your purpose, you living on your purpose and you moving strong in your direction, things will come and go, but your purpose will remain in place. And when you have that understanding, then there's no stopping.
Yeah. I think it's like that too, but I will say this: money comes and goes, but your time is important.
Yes, sir.
Your time, your purpose, and some people don't even get their purpose because they're being bombarded with advice on, especially like those of us who come from immigrant backgrounds. They're telling us you got to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. The options are doctor, lawyer, engineer, or the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
because they understand, because, or if you're going to finance or something like that, maybe, but, or accountants or whatnot, because a lot of these positions are like what they call high value positions because of the prestige that comes with them. They're not just high paying jobs or good, well paying jobs, but also the prestige that comes with it. And that's what a lot of them are doing. It's like prestige is chasing, or what we might consider like clout chasing of sorts, on a social way. So that affects a lot of people because they're not on their purpose. They're being misguided into doing something else, or something they're not attuned to. That's why a lot of people get dysfunctional that way as well.
Well, it takes time to learn your purpose, right?
It's part of your identity, Gold Professor. When you think about it, it's a part of who you are. It's a part of what you are and who you are, because your identity your identity isn't just what you do in life. It's who you are as a person, how you carry yourself. And only you can decide that. But unfortunately, most people are dictated by, or get tied down by cultural, religious, and they also get caught in the rat race.
Well, what I would say is, when you live, and this is my word, you hear it anywhere else, it came from Gold Professor. Okay, when you live in a manufactured society or culture, then you tend to grow up fractured. You know what I'm saying? So, when you attempt to heal, you heal to where it's functioning, but it still incorporates a deformity, let's say. And you got to continue to work through these deformities, okay, to the best of your ability, but through the deformities, you find you continue to put time and energy towards rectifying or healing what the fracture is. All right. And you continue to push forward, and eventually, if you put the proper time and energy, and to your point, a lot of people don't find their purpose because in a manufactured society or culture,
they're fractured.
You
and they're caught
fractured.
up, and they're still dealing with they stay remain fractured.
You stay
because there's so much negativity. Because this world is not built, does not care for your contentness, your satiation, or your happiness. It needs you to feel inadequate, insecure, and unfulfilled. That's what drives consumerism and everything else in this world. Cloud chasing, this need to be better.
Well, I mean, you have all forms. You have people living all kinds of lives, even all the way down to the homeless person, right? Excuse me.
Lies
the homeless
and lies.
The homeless person will, you will find that homeless person. He understands that he doesn't have anything. All he has is himself, right? So his whole purpose is to live with himself. And once he starts finding himself, sometimes you end up on that page where you end up with nothing. We've seen many people who had it all and then they end up with nothing, right? But themselves, right? So when they find themselves, they actually, because it takes time to get there. You can lose everything in a snap, but to find yourself, it takes time to find yourself, especially when you're already fractured, right? So, it takes time to, find yourself, learn yourself. In the 9 laws of self-governance, law number 7, know who you are. Okay. And when you learn and know who you are, then your purpose will be activated. Okay. Whether you have a whole bunch of money or whether you have no money, it's all about you. It always has been. Those things, those material things come and go, but you will always be with you. That's a fact.
Facts. Yeah. And some people are their own worst enemy, man. I was like, accountability is very, very important, man. Like real talk, man. Regardless of how old you are, what race you are, or, male, female, whatever you like to have. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, that person in the mirror is working against and sabotaging every effort, man. That's why I think these spaces exist, because I think we as a community, we have a lot of people, especially, why can't I find a good woman? Why can't I find a good man? Well, at the end of the day, a lot of it comes down to how those people actually are. Do you have anything that people are looking for outside of just looks? You know what I'm saying? What's your character like? What's your ambitions? What's your purpose? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a good head on your shoulders? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to be fixed by somebody. There's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say it's my little brother, man. He depends on his female, you know what I'm saying, to basically provide the housing and the roofing and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? She's the main earner and stuff like that. I mean, he looks good, so he's able to back him. At the same time, even he's not happy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys would probably want that. You know what I'm saying? And they're definitely not happy providing for a man that doesn't want to, be anything but, you know what I'm saying, a sugar baby. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these females, they look real good. They get wiped up by somebody making a lot of money, but they're not even happy, because guess what? After the end of the while, they get bored. Why are you getting bored if you have a lifestyle that a lot of people want? That's crazy. Why? Because guess what? You on the inside, you don't even like who you are.
Well, I would say, if she is on the man's purpose, okay, if the woman is on the man's purpose, then there's no room for boredom or anything like that, because she's on his purpose. She's on his, provided he understands his purpose and he's moving forward. I mean, this happens for the rich, this all the way down to the poor. You've seen many homeless men that has a woman with him, right? And she is on his purpose because, she's right there with him. Okay, you can go to these other so-called third world countries, right, and see that these women are with their men, sleeping on dirt floors. They don't have all this, but that woman is standing in strong with whom? That man, because she is on his purpose. Now, when the man is on her purpose, then he's saying that I'm with the chaos, I'm with the disorder. Okay, he can't bring order to the chaos because he is on her purpose. She works emotionally. Okay, she thrives all being emotional. Now, the man is more of a logical being, but if he doesn't understand his purpose, if he's not on his purpose and he's on her purpose, and her purpose is the only thing her purpose is about is the attention and doing what she want. There's no direction, no guidance or anything like that.
He's just there. Likes, he likes on social media and shit.
He becomes more of the homosexual or
Pookie Ray Ray.
He becomes the one who provides some sexual access or something like that. He is in her space. Okay, so her space is all about how much attention can she get? How can she's not accustomed. Look, I'm gonna just tell you. The man is consistently tested, battle tested. This is his life. Yeah. Okay, this is his life. So he's accustomed to making decisions in certain ways, but the woman is not accustomed to this. So therefore, she lives on the idea of what she thinks should be. She lives on the idea that she's ready for the things that men go through. Okay, so she thinks she can rule like men, but men are constantly tested. So we're accustomed to going through these things. She's not, regardless of how much she speaks about it, regardless of how much responsibility she says she has or whatever she does. She doesn't want to do it because she's not accustomed to doing it. Okay, women want stability.
Okay, they want certainty and stability. They're not comfortable with change. They're risk averted. Men, we have to take chances and take risks, but they have to be calculated risks. Risks.
I'm gonna just say
that's why I like the stock market. Man, I just recently got into stocks, and I'm not, I'm saying a Wall Street broker or anything like that, but I like being constantly thinking about investing and bettering my future. You know what I'm saying? And like being strategic. I love that. I love being challenged like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it affects how I spend my money. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of raised to be like reckless with my money, you know, because I lived with my mom's for a little bit. When my parents divorced, I lived with my mom. And my mom was really reckless with her money. She would always go above her means. Her credit was bad, all that kinds of stuff, right? So it took me a long time to get my money right. But once I understood how to get your money right, man, it's a challenge in this economic system that we have to really watch how you know what I'm saying? It's exciting. You know what I'm saying? It gets scary sometimes because, you know, we live in a crazy world right now with everything going on. But once you kind of figure out what you want out of it, it's fun, man.
Well, as I said, we've been indoctrinated into a lot of stuff, man, that was out of our control. You know, as a boy to growing into a young man, you know, we experience quite a bit where you are held accountable from the time you are, you know, understanding, which age 3, on up to the day you leave this world. Okay, I would just ask the simple question. Okay, here's the simple question: is the man or that boy more prone to stay at home, or is the woman more prone to stay at home and not have an issue, not be bombarded with, you got to get a job, you got to help with this, you got to do that? You know, which one? and if you can answer that, you know, and be true to that question, then you understand what our position is and why, you know, men, as I said before, are more battle tested and understand the consequences of not handling things the way they should be handling them, versus women understanding the consequences and accepting the consequences of what is if something is not getting taken care of or being done. You know, we don't have the space or the room to say, I just don't want to do it, because we don't have the resources like they have. Okay. Now, I don't want it to come across like there's a complaint, but I just want it to be an acknowledgement of what our position is. This is why men are better suited to handle situations, more of the decisions, and more of this is why they're in better position to handle the position of lead in the unit. The man, it's not woman and man, it's man and woman, because the man has to take care of his unit.
And you know, my brother, I'm glad you brought that up, because you know, I'm in the service, so I see this a lot, man. I think you were in the service too, if I don't get me wrong.
Yes, sir. I was in the military. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how I see it right now is I said this before, man. Granted, you know, women have some grievances. You know, not all men were treating women good for a long period of time. I totally get that, and I sympathize that. I would never tolerate anybody disrespecting my sister or disrespecting my mother. You know what I'm saying? That's how I roll. You know, I was raised in a household where I saw my stepdaddy do things that I didn't agree with, and I had to step in and check them, right? That being said, I think more than anything, the federal employment, and this includes the DOD, is the most accommodating to women more than any other basically employment that they could get anywhere in the country. You got maternity leave. You got they accommodate you if you're pregnant. You know, this, that, and the third. You get all these different kinds of health and medical benefits and stuff like that. They are anti-discriminatory, so they can't discriminate you on the basis of gender. They can actually get in trouble with that. You know what I mean? There's inquiries and IG and all that stuff. So what I see a lot, though, is how male leadership is and how female leadership is completely different. And male leadership, I think, is way better about having a sense of pushing people through. I think a lot of female leadership is very based upon feelings. And, oh, I'm sorry that you feel this way, and we'll do this, and we'll accommodate you and stuff like that. Well, I hate to say this, you know what I'm saying, especially in the military, we have one job, and it's to blow stuff up. Hate to say it, that's what it is. Like, we look nice and wear uniforms and look cute and go marching around and all this kind of stuff. But the basis of military is the Department of Defense used to be called the War Department. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, to keep it real, that's what we do, for better or for worse.
Leadership is also about responsibility and making the tough decisions.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to make decisions where people are going to die. people are going to die. People are going to get their feelings hurt. That's a part of the game, right? And unfortunately,
not just getting killed. You also have you also understand it. Also, you have to keep people in line. You also have to balance egos.
Mm-hmm.
There's an author and a podcaster named Jocko Willink. Y'all familiar with him?
Oh yeah, I love Jocko Willink. Yeah, I follow a lot.
Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Extreme ownership. Him and Leap in and talk about that. Yeah.
I actually gave a
seminar.
I gave training at a training seminar on time management based upon some of his teachings. Actually, I referenced him a lot. So yeah,
have you read the book?
I listened to a lot of the audiobooks and listened to a lot of his podcasts, and I use those as an example.
Yeah, I still listen to his podcasts. I don't know. I guess I kind of get detached from it because there was I guess it wasn't necessarily not everything's. Well, it's like my people say, take what you need, leave the rest.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I do the same thing with pretty much almost anybody. You know what I'm saying? That being said, one thing I like about him is accepting challenges. And we have a culture right now where people don't want to be challenged. Like we raise our kids with participation trophies and all this other kind of stuff, being like, oh, hey, everybody wins.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. No, but there's a winner and there's a loser. Okay, there's a winner.
No. I mean, I've had participation trophies in my own experience.
Too, when I found out I had participation trophies, that broke my heart because I had a couple of ones from actually winning basketball tournaments and soccer and stuff like that. But I had a couple more of them were participation trophies, and that when I found out what that actually was, I was just like, I threw them in the garbage. I ain't even gonna front, bro.
Oh no, I kept mine because it was. I guess because early 90s, early 80s kids, us millennials, we accepted it. It was just we looked at it as a memory of something to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
This is Little League baseball, so we also each got a baseball with everybody's name signed on it and whatnot as memory. So we kept it as such. That was the point of the trophies. I thought of it more as a memory.
Can you imagine the logic behind that if that went to other stuff? Like, let's say, what I'm saying, I used to back in the day, I used to play, I used to be out in these streets, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't never try to come from a perspective where I'm
not like that. Not like that.
Yeah. So back in the day.
But I didn't use that. I just referred to I used to play Little League baseball once and yeah, I did have a participation trophy, but we also had we also earned but there were certificates they give out to kids for certain accomplishments, actual accomplishments.
I was talking about a different kind of player. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So can you imagine, taking a girl home, you do the business and stuff like that, and she's like, okay, you were mediocre or whatever like that, but here's a trophy for hitting it. Meanwhile, you know what I'm saying? Some guys going to work. Some guys going to work, pulling full stops, you know what I'm saying, holding in all night, you know what I'm saying? He's getting the first place, you know what I'm saying?
I can tell you, I've never had a participation medal. If you guys aren't familiar, I've said numerous times that, I've been an instructor a long time, and I qualified for the Olympic tryouts in in the year 2000. And so
what discipline are we talking here?
Martial arts,
if I may ask.
Taekwondo.
Yeah. TKD. Okay. Nice. Olympic style TKD. All right.
So I qualified for those tryouts. So I fought a lot. Okay. And it's either you win or you don't win. There's no participation medal. I mean, they started doing that, giving kids the participation medal.
Yeah, but in your day, there was they also you had to earn your belts as well. You had to earn that belt. Starting from that white belt, you had to earn that white belt, and then from then on, you had to keep progressing until you got your black belt. Then you had to keep going until you got a second strike on your black belt, and a third strike, and onwards.
Well, I mean,
correct.
That is correct. It takes work, and when you put in the work, the time and energy, and you experience all kinds of growing pains. You appreciate whether you hit first place, second place, or third place. Those are the places. If you didn't hit those places, then you got to work harder. Okay, participation medals. It's Russell Simmons, thank you and good night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you and good night. You know, so
I know what you think. I know what you mean. But usually when I approach these things, it's like Bernie Mac in his second time he was on Def Comedy. You know, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. That's how I like to come at it.
I want
By
to
the way,
say
that was his second time. That was his second time on it.
Peace to Underrated. What's happening, brother? Glad to see you.
Oh, I see him. Okay, that's what's up, my boy, man. And that's it. It's the people coming in, man. It's been a while since I've done streaming, and the brother's been streaming at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, man. I've been grinding. I've been real, working to death. I recently got promoted, so they've been throwing a bunch of stuff on me. I really haven't had a lot of free time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Speaking of which, Z, if I may ask, how's your mind, how's your body, and everything going? Everything okay?
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? I'm blessed, man. You know what I mean? I got working limbs and all that stuff. I can breathe, you know what I mean? Every day. I actually had a friend of mine that died recently, man. He passed away. They don't know what it was, but he didn't have the best health. Yeah, man. Yeah, I pray for him every day, man. But yeah, he was a little heavy set. He used to party a little bit too much and stuff. So I think I already know what happened. He's living in New Orleans. In New Orleans, those cats like to, party a lot and stuff like that.
So yeah, the Big Easy.
Yeah, exactly. So, unfortunately, man, I think that lifestyle got to him, man. But he's one of the best men I ever known, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. Every time I hung out with him, we just kicked it, just talked real talk, kicked it, had a lot of fun. I never had no beefs and no qualms with him. So, yeah, man, that made me really evaluate like my health. And for the most part, man, you know what I mean? I have no complaints, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at what's going on in the news, you look at them, you know what I'm saying? Like, just every day, like, you know what I mean? There's people in the wheelchairs, people, having strokes and losing abilities to use certain limbs and all this kinds of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? If you got a functional body, that should just be another reason to be happy, period.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Why you gotta, hey, look, when I get up in the morning, first thing I do is speak word into the universe, right? That's the first thing. And then I inhale, exhale, pull it together, exercise. Because I understand when I go, I have to prepare before I go out the door. I have to maintain what I prepare for when I'm outside the door, and continue to move forward as I strive to make it back into the home and start it over again. Okay, so it is important that you work towards. Keeping yourself together too. You in the 9 laws of self-governance, law number 1, you apply discipline. You maintain discipline. Discipline is you can't do anything without discipline. Okay, you can't do nothing without discipline. And all a lot of people will be like, well, what is discipline? I don't know what that is. What is that? Now. I want to tell everybody, these 9 laws were developed by yours truly, Gold Professor, of course. And, I understand them swell. And I bless the spaces with the understanding of
trademark,
what it means.
Patent, and has a paperwork to back it up, of course.
These 9 laws apply to you. That's why it's called 9 laws of self-governance. Okay. And they're not complicated, but if you don't remember anything, law number 1, that discipline is required in anything you do. Okay, that is required, and you are required to take care of yourself, if anything. Okay, if you want to continue to be a pertinent part of your family, yourself, you have to take care of yourself. Okay. Law number 1, discipline. Well, okay, I will answer. Somebody will say, well, what is discipline? Because, perhaps they're genuinely honest with that question. So law number 1, discipline. Well, discipline is the application of order. Well, what is order? Order is the functionality of something. Okay. In the event something is out of order, it does not work. Right. If your car is the battery's dead in the car, then it is out of order. Right. The functionality, there's no functionality. Then when you correct the issue, put a battery back in the car, now you've applied order to the car. You've added functionality. You've restarted the car. Okay, you are to keep order with the self. In the event you are out of order, that's saying something is not functioning right. Okay, so discipline means order. Okay, the functionality of something. If you break your leg and you break it to where you aren't able to walk, well, you are out of order. Then the body automatically begins the body automatically begins what it's supposed to do. It implements discipline, right? Order. It strives to bring back order to the body, right?
Reset
that's what
the
happens.
bone. That's why you got to go to the doctor, get the bone reset, and it starts the healing
it depends
process.
it depends. Some breaks the body will naturally heal. They just put a cast on it and let it naturally heal. If it's a terrible break, then of course they go in and pin it up and things like that. But the main idea is to
Steel
put it
rods
back
and
in
everything.
order.
Oof.
That's the main idea, to put it back in order. Why? Is because it was the functionality of that part was out of order. Okay, so my main point of it, speaking of that, is because to put forth the mindset that you must have discipline in any and everything that you do. Even the universe is disciplined to what it maintains, what laws it will uphold. The universe is disciplined to it all day, every day. It has been disciplined to it for thousands upon thousands, millions of years. It makes sure it says it renders the law that the sun must go up at this time and go down at this time. The moon will reflect light at this time. It will not reflect light at this time. These are the laws on the universe. The universe says you will be subject to these elements, and you will move through accordingly through these elements that it has prescribed will be here on this planet. This is the law. These are part of the laws of the universe. There's no way around that. Okay. So it has displayed discipline all day. You have examples of it all day. The sun is disciplined to shining light on earth, right? And therefore producing food. It is disciplined to that. Okay. The moon is disciplined to moving the tides at certain times. You see, this is discipline all day, every day. Now, if you don't understand that, then I would say a person has to work towards finding that discipline to move forward. Okay, you have to find that to be one who once you find that discipline within the self, then you have the opportunity to add on to your direction, find your purpose. And once you find your purpose, because you was disciplined in the search for such, okay, whether you did it directly or indirectly, voluntarily or involuntarily, once you've come across it and found what your purpose is, you are to remain disciplined to what that purpose is. Okay, if you want to succeed. So, I will leave it at that.
Man, Gold Professor, thank you so much for blessing me with your presence, man. Because real talk, man, blessing us with your presence, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because, brother, you know what I'm saying? I know that you're a seasoned vet. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be able to say something like that, your positivity definitely radiates on everybody else, man. I honestly, real talk, man, I had a rough morning. You know what I'm saying? I got a call from work. You know what I'm saying? I had a meeting. You know, my boss tried to check me for something, but I ended up checking him. You know what I'm saying? So it felt good to stand up for myself, you know what I'm saying? Especially being a black man, you know, not letting just people talk down into some kind of way, you know, reasserting your masculinity and standing up for yourself. So it's always something that I was brought up on. So I'm not going to let any kind of man come at me sideways, you know what I'm saying? Irregardless of their authority or not, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And, you know, that kind of, you know, and then in response, I think that he took an opportunity to kind of pile on a bunch of work for me. But you know what? It's all good. I'm going to Las Vegas, you know what I'm saying, to visit my brother, you know what I'm saying, next week. So it's all good. You know, I got a light at the end of the tunnel. I just got to make it through, you know, the next couple of days. Whoop de whoop. It's going to be all good. And definitely hearing things like you just said about being battle tested. I mean, this one small little battle, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? I know at the end of the day, it's going to be all right.
Well, I'm going to
just dig
say,
deep,
brother,
baby. Dig deep.
I'm
Dig
going to
deep.
say, you are more fortunate than many. You know what I'm saying? Because you are able to stand on your own. You know, you are taking care of yourself. You're speaking word into the universe on a regular basis. You are in a great position to continue on to receive what you've been asking for. You said that you desire a family, right? So you speaking word into the universe, the only thing I would say is that you have to understand that you command the universe. Okay. Once you understand that, then the universe will follow suit to what it is deemed as genuine to your heart, right? It will follow your instruction. Okay. You know, once you gain that understanding that you command the universe, okay, then you will receive what you spoke to. I mean, you've heard of that saying, you speak it into existence. So you are in a beautiful position because you are taking care of yourself. You're standing on, you're a man in the game. You know, you're striving to be on your purpose. Look, you have it all. You have it all for you. You know, you just continue on to build on that. You know, that's what I would say.
And thank you so much. That's a good closing statement. Wolf, you got anything to say before I shut this thing down? I've been going a little bit over an hour.
I just want to say, you know, I think this Global Professor set summed it up for everybody. I can't top that. I can't follow that.
Okay, yeah, man, I feel you. But shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Sick Diggity, you know, Unrated Darkness.
That's
shout
me.
out to those brothers as well. Wadner, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for Wolf. And of course, the great Gold Professor, you know what I'm saying? Always great, never late. You know what I mean? Thank you to that brother.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So I'll catch you on the next morning show tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Inshallah. But
Yes,
you brothers have a really good night. Thank you so much. Y'all stay blessed. I wish y'all the very best.
Hey, indeed,
right, peace.
Allah is all
brother.
in all. You guys be easy, man.
Always.
Love your life. Love you, brother. The black man is all in all.
Exactly.
All right, family.
All right.
I'm out.
Yeah, you brothers take care.
One.